comedian. And then for my birthday, she got me a pet chameleon. And I was like, Grandma, I said I want to be a comedian, not I want a chameleon. She was like, stop yelling, I'm not deaf. And I know what you said. But I also know you're a failure with no friends, so I got you a chameleon to keep you company. Alright, thanks. It's a really random pet to get something. It is true, though, I am kind of like the failure or a black sheep of my family. It's just my siblings are super successful. You know, my younger brother Dan is graduating from West Point this year, the United States Military Academy. He's going to be a lieutenant in the Army, he's going to Ranger School, just doing big things. And my older sister Emily, she's got her master's degree, she's married, she lives in Rhode Island with her husband, and she just had a baby in January. Yeah. Thank you. I'm an uncle now. Thank you. And I'm 25, I still live at home, and I went to film school, so my dad likes to remind me that my diploma is a $40,000 movie ticket. He doesn't think I'm such a smart guy. He's like, David, you know what the difference between you and a bag of rocks is? I'm like, nah, what? He's like, the bag. Okay, I get it, it was mean, but I get it. You know how you know when you screwed up? Is when people start telling you you'll be good at jobs that nobody wants to be good at. My mom's like, David, you would make a great waiter. I'm like, thanks. She's like, no, like you're great at talking to people and you're kind of funny and you try too hard most of the time. And you have a great memory, so you'll be able to memorize the specials and everybody's impressed by that. I was like, all right, thanks, Mom. So I work at Outback Steakhouse now. And our specials tonight are... You know how you can tell who the golden child of a family is? Bumper stickers. My parents both have proud parent of a soldier on their cars. They're never gonna have proud parent of a comedian on their cars, because even that in itself is a joke. People drive by, they're just like, they're not really proud. Let me ask you guys something. Have any of you ever had to apologize to somebody for you not being your sibling? Because I have. On more than one occasion too, so you all know my pain. So my father is a golf course superintendent. He's been in the business for over 30 years, so he's very respected amongst his peers. And he was receiving an award at this banquet. So my brother was at West Point, my sister was in Rhode Island, so my mom and I went to support him. And there was a cocktail hour, so I was like, dope, get to munch down some free food. And this group of guys comes up to me, and they're like, oh, who do you work for? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not in the business. My father's John Carlone. He's receiving an award tonight. And their eyes lit up. And they were like, are you his son that goes to West Point? I was like, no, I'm sorry. That's not me. That's my younger brother, Dan. And their faces drained. Like kids at Disney that just found out the teacups were closed down. Just, And they're like, so what do you do then? Oh, it's a good question. So I'm an aspiring actor and comedian. Oh, a comedian? Why don't we hear a joke? No, that's really not how this works. You know, I'm not really prepared. It's very awkward off stage. No, just pretend you're on stage. No, I appreciate your interest in my humor-telling abilities, but I don't want to embarrass myself. No, you won't embarrass. Oh, you know what? My life. All right, my life is the joke you have. Another guy came up to me, and he's like, are you John Carlone's son? I was like, yes, sir, I am. He goes, oh, how's West Point this year? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, that's not me, that's my younger brother, Dan. And he goes, oh, I didn't know John had another son. I wish I was making that up. A little while later, another guy came up to me. He was like, I heard that you're John Carlone's son. I was like, yeah, technically I am. He's like, I just wanted to tell you that you going to West Point is the most honorable and noble thing a young man can do. And I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the service you're doing for me and this country. And I looked at him and I said, you're fucking welcome. Sometimes it's easier to take the credit. So you guys might not believe this, but I was actually very overweight as a kid, which my mom refers to as my cocoon stage before I blossomed into this beautiful butterfly you see today. imagine, elementary school was a blast for me. And I hope you understand sarcasm, because I wasn't just a fat kid, I was the only fat kid. And being the only fat kid in elementary school is kind of like being the first girl in school to grow boobs. Because everybody looks at you, everybody talks about you, everyone asks if you have to wear a bra. This one kid, Mike, would always mess with me. He'd be like, "Hey, Carlone, your bra strap is showing." I'd be like, "What?" He's like, "You see that, guys? He actually looked for a bra strap. What a fat ass. Ha, titties." Screw you, Mike. There was one day that I hated more than any other day in elementary school, and that was field day. And what field day was to everybody else was your grade got split into teams, and you compete in sports and events. At the end, the winners would get a pizza party. But to me, it was like the Hunger Games, because I'd be getting pegged with dodgeballs and prayers for one slice of pizza at the end of all of it. But there was one event that they needed me for, and that was tug of war. Why? Because they needed an anchor. These kids would send me to the back of the rope, tie it around my waist, and make me walk in the opposite direction. Like I was some kind of creature from Game of Thrones. And I remember one year, it came down to a tiebreaker. What did we do for the tiebreaker again? Tug of war. And Mike and his goons come up to me. He said, "Don't screw this one up first, Carlone. We want that pizza." And I was like, "Trust me, Mike, I want that pizza just as bad as you." So he sent me to the back of the row, tie it around my waist, and the whistle blew. So I started digging in. But then I slipped. And I fell. And I was dragged through the grass, and I could feel the pizza slipping through my fingers. And the whistle blew. We lost. And I laid there defeated. And Mike and his two goons came over. His two goons sat on my back to hold me down. And Mike got right in my face. He was like, "You really screwed this one up first, Carlone. We can't eat pizza, so you have to eat grass." I was like, "Please don't make me eat grass." He was like, "Eat it. You like it because it tastes like dick." I was like, "No, it doesn't." He's like, "You hear that, guys? He said it doesn't taste like dick. That means he knows what dick tastes like."
Oh, thank God.
So I want to tell you guys a little story about redemption. So, we're good. So about a year ago, my friend texted me and said, "Hey, I'm putting a stand-up show together and I want you to be a part of it." And I was like, "Sure, when and where?" He was like, "Next Friday," and I got it in the back of a vegan restaurant. And I was like, "Dope, the one place I've always wanted to perform." And he was like, "Do you remember Mike from school? The kid from the story." And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Well, he reached out to me and he wants to be a comedian and he wants to host this show with me." So I was like, "All right." So then I started thinking, I haven't seen this kid in 7 years and I have this joke. And I was like, do I tell it with him there? I wanted to think I dwell on the past or whatever. So Friday comes, I go to the show, and I go to the back of the vegan restaurant. And every kid that picked on me in elementary school was in the back of that restaurant. All the goons. And then I saw Mike. And I swear, he looked like he was close to like 300 pounds. So that's when I was like, now I'm definitely telling this story. So anyway, the show, starts, and my friend introduces me. I go up, I do my set, get a pretty good response. I told that story, and then I sit down. And then Mike got on after me because he was hosting. And I'll never forget, he looked out into the crowd, and he said, "Wow, the crazy thing is that I know that I'm the Mike in that story." And he looked at me and he said, "I'm sorry, David, I just want to apologize. And clearly the tables have turned because you're in shape now and I'm fat." It was at that moment that I realized I left my drink on the stool on stage. So I got up to go get it, and Mike opened up his arms to hug me. So I went up, and I wasn't there to hug him, so I gave him a half hug, grabbing my drink. And he said to me again, "David, I'm sorry." And I turned to him, I took the mic, and I looked at him, and I said, "Mike, your bra strap is showing." I don't know why. My grandma tells me, she's like, David, you're like the first piece of bread. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, nobody wants you. But eventually all the good pieces of bread are taken, and then you find your perfect match on the other end. It is horrible. No, but I think my problem is, sometimes I'm a little self-conscious about my looks, because I still feel like I'm that fat kid from elementary school.
No, you're fucking hot.
Oh, thank you. I don't even have to finish. We can leave right now. Alright, I got like 2 minutes left. That's what she said. Yeah, I know. Okay, I get that. Yeah, okay. Classic. Uncomfortable eye contact. This is great. Alright, I'm gonna go back into it. I'm gonna try. Alright, so we're all a little self-conscious about our looks, right? To a degree, right? A little bit. There is actually a way to find out if you're truly good looking or not, though. You wanna know what it is? Yeah. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright. Thank you. Alright. So what you do is the next time you meet somebody new, you meet somebody for the first time, when they ask you, what do you do for a living? Tell them you're a model. And their reaction will let you know the truth. And if they hesitate and cock their head, you're ugly. So, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm actually a model. Really? Good for you, that's great. That must be a hand model. Or if you find out someone's using your pictures to catfish somebody, that's flattering. But this is gonna sound crass, but I actually had a girl tell me one time that I was too good looking to be a comedian. Can you believe the nerve? It's not my fault that now I have a Hall of Fame smile and an ass that won't quit, alright? That's not my But I was at a bar and I was talking to this girl and she just had a great personality. So we're talking and it came up and I said, my dream has always been to be an actor and comedian. She was like, but you're too good looking to be a comedian. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean? She's like, well, no, it's just, comedians are supposed to be funny looking. It makes them funnier. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, huh. Well, if that's the case, you'd make a great comedian. You insult me for being too good looking, I'll insult you right back. Maybe this is why I'm still single. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.